We talked a little bit about alcohol. I know you've been open recently about struggles you had. I know you've been sober but since 2013, is that
I
right?
haven't had a drink since 2013.
You say, though, that you were disciplined in your drinking.
Yeah, nobody ever knew.
You said, I was as disciplined about my addiction as I was about my work.
Mm-hmm.
You say, I turned up and delivered throughout the years when I was drinking. Well, that's the explanation. In other words, you were able to compartmentalize it.
I was a high-functioning alcoholic for many years.
So you were drinking sort of between 6 in the... Were you able to kind of...
I was drinking when I wasn't working.
But you were working all the time.
So I'd go home and drink.
And then you get home and drink. And then weekends, would you start earlier if you weren't...
Weekends don't
In
mean
show
anything
business,
to
that's
me.
meaningless. Okay, yeah. Weekends
In the
is your
music
busiest
business,
time.
you work, yeah.
Would you ever drink in the morning?
No, I never did that. That's how disciplined I was.
So you'd start maybe at lunch or in the afternoon if you weren't working.
Most of the time it was evening.
Do you mind talking about this?
Not at all.
Yeah,
I
what was your drink of choice?
At the end, I think I liked white wine. Champagne I liked, but yeah, white wine was kind of a regular thing.
And would you... I'm trying to get a picture of it because actually it may be... it's not like... There's an exact definition of what constitutes abuse, right? Like how much is too much? When do you know that you've got a problem, right?
Well said.
So you would keep drinking and then what would happen? You just keep going or at a certain point you would turn in?
I think the point was that in view, I wouldn't be a drinker. So I would sort of get home and I'd open a bottle and I'd start. I mean, that could go on.
And finish a bottle?
I could, oh yes, I could finish a
Two?
bottle. I probably could, but I never would count because after a bottle, I don't think you remember. I had such shame about being an alcoholic because I watched my father and I noticed that was his demise, the drinking.
In what way?
Well, because he would fight with my mother and he would say things and she would say things and it was disturbing. But the other side of my father was a loving, funny, great singer, a man with a big heart. So I did not want to be I never want to be like my father. What happened? I turned into my father's daughter. I was a drinker. So I would do it secretly because I had so much shame.
But
that shame burns you deep. It's a horrible thing to walk around carrying secrets.
It doesn't sound like it affected your personal relationships, though, in the way
I think it must have affected everything. Of course. My sister at one point said to me, I thought I'd lost you. I knew there was a problem. I didn't know what it was. And then she found out.